Hello, my name is Lief. I am a seasoned Final Fantasy XIV ranked PvPer, and I am teaming up with Sensus to make this video in hopes of helping people who want to climb and rank in Crystalline Conflict. I have been within the top 30 every season since CC dropped, and in Season 6 I was even rank 1. Also, I was the first person to ever hit Crystal rank on the Crystal Data Center. First, I will give tips based on the mindset and outlook you want to consider bringing when it comes to ranked PvP. Then, I will give tips that are more focused on the gameplay aspect of things.
Number 1. Practice in casual games before you step foot in ranked. I have been in countless bronze gold games where I see players never use recuperate, sprint, elixir, guard, or even limit break. Don't be that player. Read the PvP profile and what your job's abilities do and shared abilities do. Remember, limit break isn't shared like it is on PvE, so don't be afraid to send it when it's ready. There are also things the game and tooltips will never tell you that you can learn from just getting gameplay experience, like the Paladin cover elixir trick. When a Paladin uses Guardian on you, you take no damage, so you can cast elixir and get a free full reset. If a Paladin is covering you, and most likely using a macro, that is almost exactly what they are hoping you will do.
Number 2. Don't be selfish. Remember, every match you play, you are playing for 10 people. You want to give the 5 players on the opposing team a good match, and you want to give the 4 players on your team the best shot at winning. For the 10th player, yourself, you want to climb, give it all you got, and enjoy yourself. PvE in this game is great, but as someone who raids and PvPs in this game, I can easily say there's nothing quite as rewarding as bringing your all and doing well in a Crystal Conflict match, especially in those really close games where everyone is sweating. Number 3. Have a backbone. This may be Final Fantasy where everyone is welcoming and everything is sunshine and rainbows, but this is still PvP. People will be toxic, people will be tilted. Don't let them get to you. Stay focused on the game in front of you, and don't try to make things worse. Don't be too sensitive if someone mildly spams good match, nice job, or hello in passive-aggressive ways. Now, if someone keeps spamming it and becomes a definite nuisance, then report them. No one wants that kind of person in their games. But if they do it a few times because they're clearly tilted, just move on and go to the next game. Which leads me to my next tip. Number 4. New match, new mindset. Don't bring anger, tilt, or salt from the previous match you had. Focus on the match in front of you and do your best, even if you get the same people that you just lost with. You never know what can happen, and things can go differently. Number 5. Know when to stop. Sometimes matchmaking just isn't working in your favor that day. There's nothing wrong with stopping and coming back later. If you are serious about climbing, it is good to stop yourself after a few losses to make sure you don't go into too far of a hole. The personal rule I use for myself is to stop after 2 or 3 losses, depending on how well or bad the games go. It is easier to climb from a 2-game deficit than it is a 10-game deficit. If you still itch to PvP further, have a backup character to play and practice on, or just go do some casuals. Better yet, make an ult on a different data center, and expand your knowledge as some data centers will play different than others. Now that I have given tips about the general knowledge of what mindset to consider having and how to approach PvP, the next 5 tips will focus more on the gameplay side of things. Number 6. Work on your awareness. I can't stress how important this is, and how layered this topic can be. When I first got into PvP, I was overwhelmed with how much I had to be aware of. So I will just say, take it step by step. Focus on what target to go for, where the crystal is and who is on it. Pay attention to HP, MP, and LB bars, and also where players are positioned. Once you get those down, you can pay attention to the harder things to keep track of, like guard, purify, miracle of nature, crowd control, and burst usage. I have lost so many games to people who just weren't aware of the time, Samurai's cheating, not paying attention to the crystal's percentage, just not standing on the crystal when someone absolutely needs to, and which leads me to my next tip. Number 7. Push the crystal. Yes, even you, range DPS. especially you range DPS. Just because you can attack from range doesn't mean you can't provide relief for teammates who have long overstayed their welcome holding out on the crystal. I can't tell you how many times I have died when I didn't have to because range players refused to stand on the crystal when we absolutely needed them to. So many games lost for that very reason. It is not just one person's job to push the crystal. Everyone can contribute, and everyone should contribute. Number 8. Follow target calls or learn how to make calls yourself. Target calls are S tier in PvP. Being able to focus down a singular target with a coordinated burst alongside your team can get you the upper hand, and is key to winning a match. In the description below, I will give the personal target call macro I use. I can make a whole video on how to correctly call a target, but I will just give a brief rundown here. Call targets with low MP that can't heal themselves, targets who just use guard and are vulnerable, players who have a nasty LB ready to use or already in use to deny them, and most importantly, a target your whole team is able to hit. Don't overextend and put your team at risk or yourself at risk. Number 9. Get value out of your limit break. Don't blindly send LBs. While it's tempting to LB for uptime and damage, if you can hold it for a few seconds to get more value, that's okay. Just don't hold it too long because you may miss an opportunity, and try your best not to waste it. Limit breaks can turn the tide of a match on a whim, so you really want to use them when they can provide an impact. Don't hold out for more value or more impact because you don't know if that will ever come. Don't be greedy. If you know you can get some value with your limit break right then and there, use it. If you aren't confident you will get value out of it, it's probably best to hold on to it for a better shot. Number 10. Don't go in alone. Unless it's overtime, or you absolutely need to stand on the crystal to keep the game from ending, there is no reason to go in 1v5. Sit back, wait for your team to respawn and regroup, and go back in together. I wish I could tell you I only see this in lower ranked games, but even at the highest level, I still see people run in, only to instantly die, and then put their team at a major disadvantage, or create a stagger that can't be recovered from, resulting in a loss. Be patient and remember, this is a team game and you can't possibly take on the enemy team by yourself. That means you too, samurai with limit break. Thank you for watching our video. I hope these tips help you improve and climb in Crystal Conflict. I am very passionate about this game mode and want to help others succeed. I'd like to thank Paws and Claws for sponsoring this video and Sensus for hosting and editing it. I couldn't have done it without them. I'm going to make more videos with Sensus in the near future that are more job-specific guides and how to play them wisely in ranked matches, so please look forward to that. I look forward to seeing you climb and meeting you in the conflict.